Well, I don't think she'll stay seated. A little Alice reference is one of my favorite Alice quotes is, "Why sometimes I believed in as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast." And I kid you not, I practice that every morning, and I believe in at least one impossible thing before breakfast. And I would say about a year, 2 years before Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened, I threw an impossible thing out to the universe, and I said, I have to go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge before it opens. And, you know, it was impossible, right? It's like, how am I going to get to do that?
One would think it was impossible.
Yes, but by practicing and believing in the impossible became possible, because I got a private tour of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge with Scott Trowbridge.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did have to wear a hard hat and like construction equipment gear, but it was great because, you know, I think being able to, you know, for us Imagineers who work on these projects for so many years, kind of building it and it's not quite done, and before we get to unveil it to all of you, it's great to sometimes be reminded about what we're doing by seeing it through a real treat that you were able to come and kind of like tell us how we were doing and kind of be that representative of the fan. It was really fantastic.
Well, it was absolutely amazing. And, you know, so Scott, so to take a step back for a second, for those in the audience, you know, that don't quite understand the process, the Imagineering process, explain, you know, you oversaw the creation of the entire land. So talk us through day to day, kind of what you did on the project and your entire team. Because literally you work with everyone on the entire team.
Yeah, and really what that means is there was a day that I got a phone call saying, hey, why don't we go ahead and build this thing, this idea that we've kind of been kicking around.
It's a pretty cool call to get.
It is a very cool call to get. And then the first thing you do is you start calling all the actually smart people and all the actually talented people who know how to make all those things happen, so you can start building up a team of experts, right? And so we've been very, very lucky, because it turns out if you call someone and you say, hi, I'm calling from Imagineering and I want to talk about Star Wars, there's like nobody who doesn't take that phone call. So we were able to put the best team together from inside Imagineering and our partners at Lucasfilm and ILM and experts from literally across the globe who all came together to kind of help bring 40 years of Star Wars dreams to reality.
Wow.
And that was like 5 years ago. More than 5 years ago, actually, yeah.
So, and now it's here. Congratulations, you just opened Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at the Disneyland Resort.
Yeah.
You're opening Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World next week. Is it just surreal?
It is so fun to finally get to see people in the land and people having these experiences and living their little Star Wars experience, even if it's for just a couple of hours. That's the best part, is finally being able to invite all of you in to experience it for yourself. So that is why we do it, right? We are doing it so that everybody has an opportunity to come and experience it. So that's fun. And of course, we're not done, right? We still have a lot more that's being built right now. We have some new things that are going to be opening later this year. Yep, the most ambitious attraction experience that Disney's ever created, probably anybody's ever created. And then we have some other new experiences, some of which we have announced and are going to give some more details in the Parks panel on Sunday of our new immersive multi-day adventure, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, a brand new idea in a vacation experience.
Okay, so if our audience here wants to be the first to hear that information, where should they be on Sunday?
Yeah, at the parks, the Disney Parks Experiences and Products panel Sunday. I believe it's at 10 a.m. in the large hall. Bob Chapek, the chairman of Parks and Resorts, is going to host that keynote with some special guests to kind of give some additional details on what is coming in the world of Star Wars and how you can become a part of it.
Okay, I'm already signed up.
Yeah.
Consider me signed up. I actually already said I filled out a lease application for Batuu.
Yeah, do you have good credit?
I do have good credit, or at least I think I do with Oga, but I might have eaten one too many Bantha cookies, so I don't know if she's happy with me.
Well, listen, the best way to get on Oga's good side is just to not make any trouble and to make sure that you're kind of keeping a low profile. And, maybe if you go work for Hondo, you can actually bank some extra credits and then slide a couple of those Oga's way. You'll be fine.
Okay, well, Ahsoka and Hondo, depending on the day, they have good relations.
That's true. Yes, yes.
Well, so I have to say, going back to the tour that I had with Scott, he walked me through the entire land, and one of my favorite moments, and I actually cried. There is video footage. We were just talking about it. I haven't seen it, but my first time walking into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and literally tears strolling down my face, chills, complete body chills. That had to have been one of my favorite moments. What's your favorite thing or your favorite moment at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
Well, just so you know, you're not alone in having that reaction. I mean, even I remember taking somebody from Lucasfilm through the land, and they live and breathe Star Wars every day, but they hadn't been into the land. They're used to looking at Star Wars on screens, and kind of it as this not real thing that only lives on screens. And so bringing her through the land and kind of like looking and looking at all the little details and kind of coming around the corner, the Millennium Falcon was parked right there. But she was still focused on these details that I was kind of talking about up here. And then I said something like, oh, and look, there's a spaceship right in front of us. And she turned and saw the Falcon for the first time. Same thing, just burst into tears. And this was somebody who was part of Star Wars every single day. I won't mention Tracy's name, but it can bring people to tears like that.
Yes, it can.
But my favorite part, to get back to your question, my favorite part really is watching the people, right? Watching the people interact with Rey or Chewie or Vi Maradi, who is General Organa's, top spy, and just kind of having this experience, which is, an invitation to actually participate in a Star Wars story, an invitation to engage at whatever level you want, and kind of set those inhibitions beside and just kind of like relive that part of you that wants to be a hero, or relive a part of you that wants to re-engage a part of you that wants to be a hero, re-engage a part of you that wants to be a villain, right? But just to kind of play. And I think that's what Disney parks have always done, is they've been a safe place to play, right? It's the one place you can wear a goofy hat and feel great about it. It's the one place where you can, do something silly and just everyone can share that experience together.
Absolutely. And what I love, and through getting to know you and talking to you as well, I love how first and foremost you care about the fans and having that fan interaction and what do the fans care about most. And how often does that come up in your planning process?
Oh, I think from the very beginning. I've also had the honor of kind of being the creative steward for the Disneyland park. So I definitely feel the obligation that comes along with being a steward of some of these stories and these places. There's no more fervent fan than a Disneyland fan, except maybe for a Star Wars fan, right? So when we decided we were going to open the first one of these at Disneyland, that original Walt Disney Park, we knew that we had to get that right? We knew that we had to kind of like serve both the Disney fan and the Star Wars fan, and there is a lot of overlap. So from the very first day, it was always like, we need to be keeping the fan who has carried the love for Disneyland, the love for Star Wars for decades in their heart. We need to keep them at the center of why we are doing what we're doing.
Well, that's clear. I will say the fact that, Chewbacca is easily accessible to get a Wookiee hug at any point. Well, if he's in the mood.
Ain't no hug like a Wookiee hug.
There is not any hug like a Wookiee hug. Luckily, Chewbacca was in a good mood when I was in Orlando the other day. I got a pretty good hug.
Oh, that's good. Well,
yeah.
And if there's no stormtroopers around, and if there's no X-Wings to repair, and if he's not busy, then he's got plenty of time to hang out and talk to. Did he recruit you to the Resistance? Did he try to recruit you to the Resistance?
Well, I mean, obviously my allegiance is to the Resistance.
Yes.
So he didn't have to try very hard. But, you don't make a Wookiee mad.
No. And always let the Wookiee win.
Yeah.
That is good advice, yes.
So Scott, you talked a little bit about what's next, but what's next? What can we expect? Also, what's your dreams? What's ahead for you?
Well, what's next literally is at the end of this year we're going to be opening Star Wars: Rise of the Resistance, which is
all right,
she's excited. Which is, as I said, an incredibly ambitious project for us. It will be opening December 5th at Walt Disney World and right here at Disneyland on January 17th. So I'm very, very excited about that. We are putting the final touches on that and getting it ready for you all.
You know that's all I wanted for Christmas, and I'm not joking.
Your hard hat is still ready for you. We can break that hard hat right back out. And then Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, which Bob Chapek announced last night, is an opportunity to not just spend a couple of hours in the world of Star Wars, but a couple of days immersed in some Star Wars story.
Okay, so obviously I was reading all about this. We've all heard the rumors, but it sounds like, the rumors are true. Like literally our dreams are coming true, that we're going to be completely immersed, which is what Star Wars Galaxy's Edge already is. Like I feel like it's such an immersive experience, but now you're taking that to the next level.
That's what we're trying to do, yeah. And again, an invitation for you to engage however you want to engage, at whatever level you want to engage, and as whom you want to engage. Do you want to be a resistance fighter? Do you want to be a first order loyalist? Do you just want to be a space tourist? Do you want to be, a scoundrel and a smuggler and a bounty hunter? All of these things, we want you to kind of be able to kind of express yourself through the lens of Star Wars the way you want to.
It's like you're making Star Wars dreams come true that we didn't even think was possible.
At Imagineering, one of the things we like to do is never stop imagining, and as kind of following in the legacy of Walt Disney himself, right? Imagineering originally WED Enterprises, Walter Elias Disney. It is the only think tank created by Walt Disney, right? And so we feel that kind of the burden of that legacy, right? Of continuing that idea of thinking big, of dreaming about the impossible, as you said, maybe 6 times a day, right? And trying to kind of again put ourselves in the shoes of our fans, and kind of think I like to start off every day thinking, wouldn't it be cool if ... and then finding ways to finish that sentence.
That is such great advice. I love that. Now, to wrap things up, you are truly, I've gotten to know you, one of my favorite people, truly so fascinating, so interesting. And we have an amazing audience out here today that, you just inspired me by saying never stop imagining. And what advice do you have if somebody's sitting and listening, especially some young fans, that want to be you one day sitting up here creating a Star Wars land? What's some advice that you have?
Yeah, well, I want to be clear. It takes a village to build a planet. This was the effort of literally thousands of people all over the globe coming together, working their hardest to kind of bring their passions to bear. So I cannot at all take credit for saying that I created it, right? I was lucky enough to kind of be put in a position of leading this effort, but
I say
so
it
many
takes
talented
teamwork
people.
to make the dream work.
It absolutely does. It's such amazingly talented people. My favorite thing about this project, or any project frankly, is walking into a room with people and being the dumbest, least talented person in that room. Don't you want to be in that room,
yes,
surrounded by
yes,
amazing people that all you can do is learn from, right? And just marvel. And then my job is just to kind of get out of their way, right? And let everyone kind of do what they're great at.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about Imagineering is you have so many different people on your team with so many different skill sets, from engineers to artists to writers to producers to anything under the sun. I feel like whatever your skill set is, there's a role for you.
Yeah. Did anybody here go to the Music of Galaxy's Edge panel this morning? A few people.
Oh yes, a couple people.
The music, right? The composers, the writers, the producers. That is one of those places where I just kind of sit in awe.
Yeah.
Well, first off, sitting at Abbey Road Studios with the London Symphony Orchestra playing a John Williams score, and hearing it for the, I'm bawling, right? I'm just, I got my iPhone out, but I'm just it's overwhelming how much amazing talent comes through from these people like John Williams, right? There's just nobody better.
So that's what I love about you is I'm crying like a baby in the Millennium Falcon. Scott's also there tearing up. And this obviously you had been working on it, like you said, for almost 5 years. and you still get emotional, which I think is so great.
Oh yeah, well we put our hearts into these things, right? These things are hard, so we have to put our hearts into these things because otherwise it wouldn't be worth doing, right? And I mean, ultimately we're doing it for all of you. Everything we do at Imagineering, everything we're doing at Parks is all to give you guys an opportunity to spend some time with your friends, spend some time with your family, make some memories that will hopefully, last a lifetime, and find new and better ways and more novel ways to provide those invitations for you all. That's just kind of what we think about all day, every day.
Well, Scott, we're almost out of time. I have a very pressing question.
Oh, I'm ready.
Tough question.
Wait, if this is going to be a really hard question, I think I need to hold this up.
Oh, okay, yes, Ahsoka will
She's my backup.
Are you Team Green Milk or Team Blue Milk? Only the pressing questions here at the center stage of the expo.
This is a hard. May I confer with counsel?
Yes.
I think I can tell her that. No, she wants a real answer. Okay. I'm gonna say they're both great. I prefer the green.
Me too! Team Green Milk! Yes! I mean, they're both great. You know what I say? Go into Ogus.
Just don't watch where it comes from. It's delicious, but if watching the sausage being made, I don't know if you've seen a bantha being milked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen it, yeah. I'm definitely very cautious. But my recommendation is go into Ogus, get a blue milk,
Yes.
get the bantha cookie,
Yep.
go outside,
Okay.
get a frozen green milk,
Wow.
and have that combination.
This is a pro tip right here.
Pro tip.
This is a pro tip.
I literally have to thank you and your team, everyone, because I am such a massive fan of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And how about you guys? Yeah. Right? Let's give a huge round of applause to Scott Trowbridge.
Thank you all.
Scott, thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks, and hopefully we'll see you all at the Edge of the Galaxy real soon. Bye.